Okay, we're good.
Thanks, Chris.
You betcha.
All right, calling meeting to order, 6:05. Previous minutes approval, everyone had time to look those over?
One motion to approve those.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Current agenda approval.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public address. I think we have anybody here today. Treasurer's report.
You guys need more time, we can approve that at the next meeting. However, there's a deposit made of $4,278 she put into the miscellaneous bucket. It was made on 1/22. I don't know, whenever I make deposits, I put a large memo as to what it is and why. So I don't really know where he put this $4,278 deposit. At least it was.
When was it made?
It was 1/22. Hold on. Yeah, 1/22. So normally, also when I make deposits, I send you guys a picture of the deposit slips too. I've started to do because that's nice for referencing back to for me as well. So I don't know who would make that deposit.
Yeah, Kathy usually writes concessions on there.
She normally does. You know, it's possible that either her or I forgot, but even so when I reference back to 1/22 in her chat message, that made me $4,270 deposit. So anyways, that's to note. And then what else is there? You'll find the travel card expenses in the scholarship income account. So she's saying if you'd like it somewhere else, just let me know. That one's probably gonna be like looking at a negative just because we haven't had that $5,000 check go through yet, but hopefully it's coming. And then also we kind of talked about if anyone decides not to take their coach's check or donate it back, we thought about just putting that straight into the scholarship fund, asking them if we can transfer that money into our scholarship fund. So we don't have to if you guys feel. I thought that would be a nice
Makes
Place to put it.
that would be too.
Well, I think it's gonna be a year-to-year thing, you know, that we're gonna have to, help.
That scholarship fund.
Yeah.
So that $4,000, was that from the Bantam?
No, because Bantams is, you look at those deposit slips. Bantams is $4,737 is what I deposited into our children. Squares was $3,968, PB's was $3,927, Bantam, tournament is $800. So we'll figure it out. Anyways, that's it. It's good that it's to the good and not to the bad, but.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Dips coordinator.
So there were a couple of people that did reach out. We had Danielle Ralph and then Nancy Morrow. I did reach out to Nancy to see if she was still interested in doing DIP next year. She said she won't be me.
Okay. So no completion of required volunteer hours, so. Position.
Yeah, she would have to do the volunteer hours.
Do we wanna wait for that, so we get all the positions and then deciding upon what they do?
I mean, we
Or what
can, but I mean, I'm not doing it next year, so. It doesn't matter, we have the,
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna do it, then we obviously need a position, so.
Did it seem easier with crossbar?
yes and no. I did run into like some snakes with, cause like families, like for some reason, like someone on some kids, I tried to, like for me, so when I claimed hours, some were like claimed for me, so when I went out to delete them off of mine and add them to Deacon's, it added on to my required hours. But I do have a spreadsheet that I use, so I've been going up with that, which everyone should know it's 20 hours and not 48 hours that they have to do, or 60 hours, but, I just wish there was a way to like separate it out, like run a report where it's just like shows all concessions and all, like you have to go to each one. It's a kind of a pain, but I kind of work with Crossbar to see if there isn't a report that they could somehow do.
Scheduler?
So should we make a motion for a new coordinator?
I mean, there is already a position, it's just, you just need to be
We don't
filled.
need any motion.
Just to approve. We want to move on,
Yeah. But if we want to wait on that, we can wait. And then with the, I have on there the no probation required. So right now I'm sitting with 20 families who are not done with their hours yet.
20?
28 who aren't done with their hours yet. And then I have invoiced out 8 that haven't even started their hours. So I just invoiced them like I said I was going to do, whether they finish them or not. And then like I said, I'll send my hours to you guys.
So you're invoicing them through Crossbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that all seniors?
No. There was only, honestly, 3 seniors that didn't do their hours, start them. Otherwise, everyone else did them, so.
So in the past, I mean, have we run into it where they just haven't done it, they weren't seniors? Or haven't paid?
I'm not really too sure about, like, normally, how many seniors did we have last year? 2? I don't remember if they paid or not, if they paid at the annual meeting or not. Nicole took care of that last year. But we did actually have a lot of families that paid the $500 and just didn't do their dibs, versus this year so far we only had one family just send the money, so. So I felt like it was beneficial to raise it to that $1,000, because people think it was, well, paying $1,000 versus $500, so. And then I'll email this to you guys so you guys can kind of see what it looks like.
This is where you want to talk about if they don't complete their hours, then what's the ramifications?
That's what,
When they get paid,
that
they have to
was
pay
my
the
question.
$1,000.
I know, but
Are
we're
they-
talking about the kids not playing in state.
Yeah, I mean,
It's in our handbook.
So are they only penalized for state? What about the following season?
they have to pay before they can
Oh,
send.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And honestly, I don't think, I mean, it's the part is in our policy, but I think we need to push that.
I don't disagree. I just hate to keep a standard like the handbook and then stuff all the time.
The problem with this is there's no consequence that we can actually follow through on unless we present it to the lawyer and the lawyer says, yes, we'll take these people off the small claims. You know, because I don't know the process behind taking people to small claims.
I know the problem. I've done it before, yeah. But at the same time, it is stated in our policy that you do the 20 hours or you get $1,000.
still low this year. So, I'm fine with
You
that.
can put that in the policy for next year, that if you're not, because some people's states are longer than others, or further out than others. And there are bids, opportunities, the weekend of like high school and that base at the end of this month.
But at the
And
same time,
following weekend,
I mean,
I'm not as good as shit.
I don't really know because honestly, you should know where you're sitting in January. Okay, I need to finish my hours. So,
I agree.
I mean, I just don't.
My only question is, does it really anyone policy, or is that just something that that's what
Yeah, we can always say that it's on a case by case basis. I mean, we don't actually.
that's what I mean, I feel like
I know in the years past, I ended up having to call some families, and it was split families, and they thought, well, she was gonna do it, he was gonna do it, you know, and then when I said, well, if they don't have it paid before the state tournament, you know, the 500, they won't be allowed to play, and there was a check wrote the next day.
Yeah, and at the same time, that's also not our issue either. That's between those parents to get that figured out.
So, I don't know what the best answer is there either, but you have to have something because I look at it, I mean, what be if they don't show up for the annual meeting, you know, as their last year as a senior, you know?
Yeah.
But there's gotta be something in there, you know, like for a junior, if next year they won't be able to register until they paid their $1,000 and then their registration fee, you know?
I know Jamie had brought it up last year, or at some point about maybe keeping the card on file.
that, for me, that's the way to go, that's the way to go, so instead of invoicing, you're just getting charged up.
Until they use a blue dot card to sign up for hockey.
I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have your hours done, when you play at state, the
Yeah,
weekend you go to state, and your hours aren't done, then they charge.
Yeah. I'm
I
sure
don't know if
there's.
there's an option.
I don't know. We can look at that. I haven't really dug into that.
I think I'm sure you contacted these families.
My invoice though.
All
So-
48.
No, I actually just finished going through it today, so.
So do we want to set aside time to contact all 28?
I'm gonna send an email out to them.
She said that,
And I did have a lot of families reach out, just making sure that they were completed with their hours. I'm trying to go back and look and make sure.
I think it wouldn't hurt to send another one. You know, this is the last weekend to get a lot of hours. If you are short.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a note here, it needs to be a handbook for next year, because we're gonna have to post some things for next year, but I'll just add a note, a note playing at state if hours aren't done, or we have to pay.
I mean, truly that, so we're not gonna enforce that this year?
No, I think we can still enforce that, I'm just talking about adding it as a handbook. because
Oh, yeah.
handbooks are- we already took that thing, it's-
So do you want to
Get this
motion?
done early in the spring, adding to it, so next year is done.
So I guess I'll make a motion that, we will implement them not playing the states if they don't fulfill their gifts.
$4,000.
$4,000.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I think maybe people probably didn't even know the position was truly open, you know, so maybe if we just wait till,
I sent an email.
I know, but we want
think that's gonna take more time.
I'll sign up sheet.
So I'll make a motion for Nikki Irwin to be scheduler next year. You can make a motion and discuss it.
Well, I was just wondering if
Nikki, well, Nikki and Matt were the ones, and Chris Johnson did reach out to me. Chris Johnson didn't reach out to me any further than that. And then Matt said that Nikki would probably be better at it, and he wants to do more of the tournaments. So I don't know how that would work. I did go through it with Nikki yesterday. I do feel confident that she can do it. I also offered that to go with her to the state meeting to help her do that.
I obviously said that player, so I would also be willing to help if you know the director or the state running tournaments. Because I know all of those prices are going to send out costs. Those dates are super dates. It's super dates, but probably the same. So I would like to have coaches ahead of time. I'd like to have it's just a process.
I think there are a few terms that they're rid of.
That's why I strike through these strike.
I agree with that.
Pretty much everyone in North Dakota strike through. But yeah,
I mean, if Nikki came to us and said, I need more help, then it's gonna be up to her to decide whether or not she wants to incorporate more people into her job.
what I would like to do is, like I said, help from the director if we have one and coaches. If those two things aren't an option, I'd like to
Have those dates already set before the state meeting. These are the tournaments that are
Yes.
already, that then weekends are out.
All basic-
All tournaments can be done before.
I'll give her all the information with for each team and what tournaments, where to go, and then all she has to do is go register. She's done a bit of research, which is the 32 tournaments for the figure 10 and below. And then all she has to do is make me the next one she has.
Well, I'll make a motion to, oh, you did? For what?
For Nikki Irwin to be scheduler.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion that we fill the dips coordinator position by the April meeting.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Second, the motion from Janet. I'm struggling. I just don't know what the other number was. Go, Robert.
June 6th and 7th.
That's,
Do we have ice available?
so they have, so Go Robert usually comes in, I'm happy he's done at noon on Fridays. Go Robert usually comes in, does it from 1 to like 5, and then whatever their schedule is for that weekend. And usually Jensen is when that's it for that anyway.
So my question, I did have a question that maybe first the last one. Are you still gonna be scheduling them on ice?
No, no, I'm not doing that.
That's
That's
the
the
schedule.
scheduler. Okay.
She said she's done.
I'll still be around to help. do whatever. I mean, and like I said, I did enjoy doing it. It was just a lot this year, and I have a lot of work to do. So
Definitely a lot of processing.
yeah, when I was showing her, she was like, but I think she'll do.
So no conflicts of go wherever she chooses.
There isn't, my only, this whole kind thing is just really nuts. Because basically now, what we're asking is, I mean, when hockey come in for a week, squeeze the rubber in, and then permission for following.
Well, I mean, you're not really squeezing gold rubber in because it's just.
Well, no, but it's just basically hockey from Monday through the next Friday.
Yeah. 2 weeks camp. Last time to get your skating in for 2 weeks. Where the ice comes.
No.
I don't know.
Bull Robert's not the biggest thing, but I also think our prohibitions has a big option on that. That's why.
Well, and that'll be nice because kind of hockey doesn't. So at least goalies will have 2 camps, and the other team players will have 2 camps that they could attend also, if they wanted
This is
to.
something too that I think we need to do so we really need to stand out as boards and like kind of spread it some as well.
Yeah, the caps are definitely going to take from each other.
That's what we just
Unfortunate because
I think bull robber, no, we're gonna just get our goal.
yeah, that's I think just go to Bull Rocker.
No, I'm fine with it then. It was everybody's where it's fine. So hopefully next year, quite frankly, I'm curious.
And normally they are spread out. So this is the first year that they haven't been spread out. So
Yeah, and basically with that prohibitions that also nobody agreed for next year.
I think that, you know, we're talking about bull robber, there's camp and stuff like that, but almost, we used to have them. I'd like to see them almost come twice a month during the season to do our goals.
yeah, I mean,
What are you gonna do?
I'm saying a 2-hour window. On that Wednesday, you give them a 2-hour window. I mean, I just look at it right now. I see we are lacking goal.
I don't disagree. I'm trying to figure out the ice time for 52 hours before that game.
Yeah. But I mean, you might have
Is
to,
that 4 to 6?
you know, it might be 4 to 6 or that's something we have to approach them to see if they're willing to travel, you know.
Or say we block that spot, we can get other experts.
Or there could be something, I mean, if we do go with Brian, I mean, there could be something he could put on.
Well, we can't do that. Figure skating is 4 to 5. That's right.
But I mean, you might end up, where, you know, it's maybe you're 3-on-3, it's not quite as long, you know, where, I mean, we blocked off a lot of time there.
Here's an idea that I can actually go. You can push LTP over there for that 45 minutes. And you can shut 19 unit line skate. Or push there's a little like 3-on-3 right behind you.
Yeah. I think there's options, but I'm just bringing it to our attention, and I think that's something we have to look at and talk to and see what the cost would be. You know, if they would be willing.
yeah, I agree. So we're gonna go Robert coming in June 6th and 7th. There's no issues with that.
I'll make a motion to approve Bull Robert coming June 6th and 7th.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 8U, 10U sport practices.
Okay, I just put this on here because I figured like going through like texts and stuff just so we could all get it figured out. So what was told that when their end date was going to be? Because I know 10U girls obviously are going to Canada at the end of May or March.
So, what 8U's last day is the
19th.
no LTP is the 19th.
See, so in my meeting minutes, we preview was for 8U to learn to skate. So, but they're gonna go to 26 now?
They have a mandate tournament,
Oh, it's a jam.
January the 22nd, and then,
I think skate is kind of beat the little jamboree, but
I know, but they're only twice a week. I mean, what are you really?
What I'm looking at is on learn to skate, learn to play AU. Honestly, I think we need it in black and white. There's a start date and an end date. In your Pee-wees, Bantams, 12U, Junior Gold, 19U now have prime ice time from 4 to 8 instead of having to be at 9, 10 o'clock. Getting out of here at 10:30.
Here's what I'm trying to explain. LTSL is the 19th. On Monday, 10U and 8U split. 10U has games until March 2nd. So you really only gain 5:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday for 8:30 for the one.
That's what
so,
I'm saying.
but didn't we also talk about 10U girls missing that week of practice when they're state?
After that week, because that game's that week. That game's the week of March 2nd.
This is something I think it needs to be for next year, where you can't fix it this year.
Yeah,
But-
I think end games probably need to end then at sooner, because I was just trying to get them more games, but
Or the same goes for sports.
Yes.
All the sports have games on March 2nd.
yeah, I think
So
one does, yeah.
that's what I'm trying to explain. Like 8U anywhere doesn't affect anybody.
No, but
And
I'm
I think
just,
if you thought with Corey and asked him if he needs to utilize all those practices, if he feels like it's even necessary, he might be able to put out it 2 days a week.
I mean, junior gold 7:45, 8:45 Monday. Bands are 8:30, 9:30. But with LTSLTP done, they can go up 45 minutes from 8:45. That's not terrible.
it's not, but what I'm just saying, when I just look at it as, and then they can start up after the last tournament of the year if they want to start up.
Well, teams are going to drop off, right? After the week of last week, February, you lose 19 junior gold. There's 2 open slots that we can available. So,
I'm just looking at 2 weeks before state. Team should. Well, that's something we can discuss. There's nothing you can do this year.
Okay, so 8U is done when?
20.
AU's last day of 3 on 3 is the 26th. And then after the following week, they're going to, I think, have a couple practices the 10th because they got to keep going around.
And 10U girls and sports are just gonna practice through then, the state weeks, okay.
Just the one. And sports are done. Sports are done the 22nd. Right? That's Thursday.
Yeah.
That's the last practice. Is that games that weekend?
Yeah.
10U will be done then. Skip a week and come back the 10th. The week of the 10th, you have 2 teams left. Or 1 team left.
So 10U is skipping one week?
First week of March.
And there's only gonna be 2 teams practicing that week anyway, so it wouldn't even matter if they skipped or not.
No, the week of the 3rd, they'll still be more. Because you have PBs on the 7th.
So Bantam Bees and Pee-wees and 12U girls were the week after the 3rd, right? The other stages.
They're the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, but there's a tournament the following weekend, which is 12. Okay, week of the 27th to 2nd, we have junior gold, girls 19 on Bantam.
Yep.
If Bantam wins, they're playing.
Yep.
And now they're done.
Yep.
The following weekend, the 7th to the 9th, we have PBA, PBB. And then March 14th to 16th, you have Bantam and girls 12.
Okay.
So 10U girls is going to stick to the 3rd, because there'll still be 4 teams left that have teams. And they'll come back a week of 10. So 8U 6. Sports.
mean, you just
You
have
could
it.
have it, but they'd have
But
to
if
just-
they can find their ice time, I mean, if they want it on the weekend or late,
Yeah.
you know, in the evening, you know.
It's like,
So do we need to approve these dates or?
The coaches already had sent it out to their teams. I know Dave Hansen sent it out to.
yeah, LTS for sure knows. Everybody else that talks to keep that to sports and me, you should know. Because I know me, you said on the last 3 degrees, there's 26, and sports doesn't have anything after 1 second, so. When it comes back, it's 10 years, but the crappy part is reinventing the schedule wheel.
It'll get Yeah, you always got that too, you know, and I don't know if it'll happen this year or what, but that's why I say a start date and an end date, that your last practice, if you wanna have Mike's versus Monk, that's your night you have that. That's your last night of practice, that's when you have your Mike's versus Monk. Squirts, if that's your last practice, that's when you Squirts versus Dad.
Next year, if you know how to be easy, I'd say right now, practice was mistakes.
Okay.
I'll start, that's what, I'll start leaving. That little dot call, maybe each week, and send it to us. I'll adjust it for after the 19th, for we did the third weekend. Send us 3 weeks on.
We good?
Yep.
Committees, hockey director, Brian's.
Did he get you any of that information? Did he get back to you on any of that?
Then he did it.
What? And he's okay with that?
Looked into it and said, what Tom had was an LLC for his own business that funds. And you don't have to have an LLC.
For tax breaks, it really benefits to have the LLC, but, I mean,
Yeah, if you want to say anything, rest right now, you can do that.
Well, I don't, my 1099 wasn't the issue, I just didn't know if he had to have like a license to. Okay.
Have a contract position.
Because we kind of to that issue with Tom, his contract position, you know, that was a big issue last year, so I just want to make sure that
Position.
contracted versus employed.
That's a different issue than having your license. I think the issue is the verbiage of the contract said both. That's the same now, it's true. Because if you do employee, then you have to start paying tax. You can't go W-2 and W-4 or anything. Or you can't pay all these other positions like coaches or presidents.
Well, if it's under a certain amount, that's just.
I know I talked to Denise about contracted versus employees, she like contract.
Isn't he has to worry about his own taxes?
I mean, that's, okay, so are we voting on offering him
That's what we're at.
the position, right? Is that,
Does anybody got any more discussion on
Is it something you have to do a background check? Do you call me if it's references?
My only issue
Is that we haven't really looked at any other options. Obviously, it's not
Yeah, and like I said, he was great. It just-
I think in any other situation, they probably would have given us 3 to choose from, but they didn't feel confident in giving us 3. So that's why we only received 1, is what it sounded like from that committee.
Yeah,
Because I asked that same question, I was like, well, I thought we were gonna get 3 options. Well, some of them, it was painful to get through the interview process, so we're not gonna subject
Well, and then-
ourselves. So I understand what you're saying.
that brings it back to like we haven't really let a hockey season finish before we had the having a position out there. So like most people are already invested in what they're doing at the moment, and
I get that. but I
and
think-
maybe there'll be more options.
I think the reality of it is, though, if we don't do this, then this whole next season we don't have
That's fair, but I mean we're all on the board for a couple more years now. Is it something we want to rush into? I mean, I like it. So if it comes down to it and everybody thinks that this is our best option, I mean, I'm all for it.
I just think for the benefit of
I don't want to
the
rush
kids-
into anything.
I mean, I know that we talked about. I mean, I've been pro director, whoever it is, from day one. But I look at our kids, and I feel like even being on the board, it's not about your kid. It's about the foundation of the club and the direction that it's going to go. And for our kids that are currently here, like we don't like time's running out. That's what I look at. Like time's running out, so like having someone here is giving our kids more opportunities to grow, to potentially have ice year round and not, because that's where it's like I don't really worry about my kids, but in situations like this, it's not just my kid, but it's everyone here and all the kids in these, pads, all this one stuff like that. I mean, it's just my opinion, having someone here to do that is a huge benefit.
No, for sure.
I think the big thing that we all have to come to reality here is honestly, I thought his interview was awesome. But the big thing when it's all said and done, we hire this guy. If there's things that aren't going well, we all have to be open and say, I'm not liking how this is going, and we all have to go and kind of figure out how can we fix that solution. Last year, I felt like when we brought something to the table, it was shot down. I mean, there was no other looking at it or trying to fix how to fix it.
Yeah.
But I think per his interview, that's what he wants to collaborate and work with us all and receive the constructive criticism and
I think we laid it out pretty easily in description 2 versus the previous one. It's a little bit more like summary of what news have done.
And I-
Making sure you're at the board meeting every month.
I think he understands who he reports to also. Like this isn't his first time being a director. Like he's not gonna go to, he's not gonna report to the hockey committee. He knows he has to report to.
I felt we were clear enough.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I think
To your point, that doesn't mean sit back just because we're clearly we have an issue and bring it out.
I mean, I don't want to be a board that micromanages either. But, I mean, as a member, you hear from members, and so you gotta kind of, we're put on this, we have to listen to our members too. There ain't always you can fix what the members want. It doesn't. But, we do have to consider taking their address and looking into them.
I agree with that, Pat, and 2, I would like for all of us to look at this as, this is our club and we're essentially hiring a general manager, and to let this guy come in and, run his course and see, support. I mean, if it's just something blatant and just is completely crazy, obviously we can step in, but if he has, whatever his ideas are, just support him to the fullest and see whether he truly succeeds or fails.
I mean, I look at Wilson. I honestly, what I've heard from the committee, that was the guy that Williston got rid of. That was the guy that they felt would be our best candidate, but he wouldn't take the job, Williston's plan, what their board thought was what needed to happen. So,
But I think we'll wanting him to give us a plan to us to handle it, which is different.
yes.
We do have to allow him to succeed in very obviously if it's financially.
That's exactly, I mean, went there, I was like, okay, but I
That
can't
part
have
is
it still $50,000, like.
I'm talking about like direction and like
Yeah,
on ice stuff that are affecting anybody in the financial.
yes.
Always financial things should always be done. I absolutely agree with that wholeheartedly. Not saying we don't take issues or ask questions or anything like that, but I agree with both of you. Understand what you're saying. You got change doesn't happen overnight. No matter what. They're gonna want to do something, and people are gonna want. It's like working out. You just want to be a bodybuilder. Or a people don't think that doesn't happen. The guy coming in here is got to do it.
And two, and I've said this before, but it just to me, I think about this a lot. This position, I mean, you can work here in Watford as a labor hand and make $80,000+ a year. So I feel like anyone that's wanting to take this, obviously someone like Ryan is really trying to, get his career on the fast track, so to speak. And so it's really to find someone that's willing to move to Watford City where you can't buy a house for less than $500,000 or you live in an apartment. Like it takes someone that's really committed to even move here in the first place for that.
That is something first.
Well, I know that's.
And that's what it's for.
Does he know like that?
Yeah, me and him had a conversation because I was actually talking to him about the whole 1099 thing, and he still seemed interested in it, but he was pretty shell shocked over the housing market here,
It's pretty wild.
and he felt like, he's a family of 5, he has dogs and all this stuff, and he's talking about acreage and all this other stuff that he was looking for, and
Yeah, that'd be tough on him.
yeah.
He seems like a smart guy though, like he'd be able to like find work in other places as well.
Well, I mean, he can do it. And then something else, Pat, I was thinking, and we were in that meeting with John Drew with the Rough Rider. They said that it was if you're working on the compressors, they'd like you to be an employee of the city. Is that correct? Maybe there is a way that if he is this knowledgeable with the compressors, if we can substitute, there could be even a $20,000 like adder as him being like a part-time employee of them.
I that's up to the city, but I don't disagree. I mean, I think there's an opportunity for him, but
Keeps
that's,
them in the rink.
yeah.
It keeps their guys to know the things they could be doing. If he's dealing with this, absolutely. And I wouldn't say that. I know when we talked about that, it was taking on part of the salary. Well, I think to me, it's going to need to be an addition to option. That's $20,000. But
process, and so I think at the end of the year, we will know if it's gonna work out.
We'll know 6 months. We'll know in 6 months.
Well,
Because
I agree to that, Pat, to a degree. But I mean, I even look at, this was my first time, here on the hockey board and trying to I don't think I had.
no, what I'm saying is if he's reporting and giving us
Oh,
updates and
absolutely.
stuff,
Things you can
yeah.
validate.
Yeah.
We'll know it's
Measurable.
Yes.
Measurable. Certain.
That's what
certain
I'm talking
things that will take longer. But
Yes,
things
no.
that you're wanting to see, I think will be.
Yeah.
You'll know fairly quickly.
Yeah.
We usually have to go to let them turn it around and tell them, hey, I can't use that. Hopefully it gets better. If it doesn't get better, then you know.
That's what I was.
Here's how I look at it, or you can kind of answer your question. I don't think we're rushing into it. I think there was light amount of applicants. The ones that could fit were interviewed. Process was followed through until saying that all of your firms. I was interviewed 3 times. My personal feeling is all our options. Guy for us, I think he nailed it. I think the beneficial to him, having nice knowledge, damn knowledge, knows that. There's a lot of things knowledge is not.
And the fact he's willing to travel all the way out here too.
Yeah, I also agree that, or I think that we can all agree we need a director here. And whether that's Brian this year, it's Joe Smith next year, because he didn't work out. The goal is to have a director here regardless of who that is. And maybe he works out and he's here for 5+ years, whatever.
Yeah.
Great. If you're only here for a year, then we start the process over again. It's part of it. Then you find the right fit. Because we all think, or at least I think we all agree we want to be right. I'll find right man. Because if we don't hire him now, I do agree that the likelihood we get one for next season is here in time to do all the things we want to do that takes stuff off our plate as board members to focus on other things. It's minimal. We might get a guy, but he doesn't already tell them all if we got a shot season. We've already done all the things. We've already done the work. Now we're trying to set the spring OPT. We're trying to set the fall OPT. Paying the other people to do these things for us because the board superiors cash out for that. You're setting up the price for these things you're doing. By the time you get into your smart, you're paying a guy to sit here and serve. For the most part, we're a season until he serves.
I don't have an issue with that. I mean, motion, I'll motion.
Well, I think before you do that, everybody get a chance to read the proposed contract. Next thing.
Yes.
Everybody
You did a fantastic job.
good with how that read.
I felt comfortable.
You're good with it. Finance here.
I mean,
She redlined it a little bit. But she
I feel like we'll find out.
I mean, the money's the money. That just is what it is. It's got 2 extra prorated weeks. For the annual start date, maybe first March 31st. It reads that way. Or it is March 31st. Now all we can do is send me, if everybody's good with all that reading, then I go with it, I'll send that. I'll send that with the,
I just want to throw one option out there. If he, let's just say he says, guys, I'll come, you go first. Are we good with that?
I think it is if I would really like to know if he was open to come, even if we flew him in for the annual meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying if he threw something at us saying, hey,
is there, well,
If this guy's-
how comfortable do you feel if he starts March 3rd, but wasn't physically necessarily coming here until we go first? So we can at least get started doing some in the background. Saying, are you okay, or does he have to be here for us to know?
we did that with Tom. The only problem I had with that was we didn't know what he was. We told him we needed a practice schedule, and there was we still didn't know a week before practice started if we had a practice schedule.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think it all
that's
goes
fine,
back
because
to-
if it goes that like that, I think we made a mistake to begin with.
my point is, we started March 3rd, he said, well, I need a couple more weeks to get my stuff together before I go out there, he says, but I can work on spring OPT, like that's his first.
If this guy's moving here with his whole family, I think we just let him do it like he's comfortable, and it's a big.
Yeah, I just,
A big
I don't
thing.
have a problem with that,
He
I
can
just
work
wanna
from
see the results.
Give
I mean,
him
we're
something
talking
to do
30
for
days.
that.
I mean, even
Exactly.
it's 30 days.
Yeah.
If he could at least put together a spring OPT schedule,
Which means he has to.
I mean, that's-
He has to give us a schedule for that, what it's gonna registration fees.
And he's gonna need our help with that, too,
Yeah.
on what we charged last year, things like that, and.
I was just asking company or we are sending that.
No, that's fine. Let him.
We'll see what he says. Let's throw the first one out there. Or let's have your motion, throw the first one out there and see what he says. He might come in for more money. If that's the case, we're see what he says. So I know his initial plan was to cover himself and help the spring hospital. Okay, so as long as everybody's good with that, I'll send that and
So we should have a motion on
Yep.
the top, right?
I'll send that. Finish that.
Okay.
That and the job description.
So just you have to sign the job duty description though.
It's just says as attached. Contract. Your job is described.
And your keyboard.
He's got to sign it. And then we'll come back to us and then sign.
Did you make a motion?
You're not making a motion.
Go for it.
Alright, I'll make a motion to hire Brian Smith with the current email contract. As an
Should we roll call?
Do we want to say hire or offer now?
Say offer.
offer the contracted position.
Because we don't know if he's, we have to offer it yet.
Brody?
Yep.
Pat?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm typing, thinking. Wait. Sorry.
Sam, there's this thing called Otter AI that you can turn on your computer and it will take all your notes for you.
Should do that. Okay, so Warner, yes. Pat, yes. Sam, yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Junker?
Yes.
Myself? Yes. Real good?
Did everybody understand the 20% proposal for extra offerings? It wasn't just his campus, it was all of their.
Yeah.
Just make sure, it's like, he eliminates our your exam driver issue, who cares? Or, hey, opens the building, exams, he gets 20% of a couple grand, it's Alright, just wanna make sure everybody's good with that.
Budget and finance. Tournaments.
Holy man, last one. See, I got some stuff set up, brackets are here. Pamphlets I'll get tomorrow. It sounds like the rest of the remaining items are here tomorrow. It's on auction. And Mom's gonna do what Mom's gonna do. So they're pretty much ready. I got 2 more teams left to pay. I've emailed them today as well. They both said one's going to check. And then one will have a game ready. And we are all under some paid.
What do they look like for?
This is next year, there's a couple I won, it lasted about $100. Junior gold and bath, me, and bath. So, I got a plan to bring to the March meeting because I want to get the dates out in April for next year's tournaments. I also have some dates I can swing to when that Sassburg next weekend, and I didn't really go back-to-back weekends, so it does push the taking 12 to 22nd. Push that back a week, high school back a week. So, I think it's 2 week break. So I'll cover that plan. Also upping my Jamboree to 250, that's not here.
That was too.
Hey, when I followed you, I asked, I don't know if you listened to those games, I didn't know the Canadian US kill this, they don't hurt US, so it goes to $150. Less Canadian dollars is actually like their United tournament is like 900
But didn't they finish it off by saying Simon's up?
He said he didn't.
Oh, he said he
He's probably talking more like hotel rooms and all
That
that
would be
stuff.
my
And
guess,
the
because I'm
tournament fees.
But I'm like, but actually, again, if you ask me that, it's actually cheaper. There's stuff that's up there than just.
I'll do a better job of trying to get locker rooms for the EU.
I said, I knew that one would come up.
Did you utilize the figure skating room?
That and one of the things, we definitely have two, we need to make sure there's benches and chairs there for
And
sure.
I'll work out maybe another one if we have that many teams.
The other complaint was the Rec Center pool wasn't open.
Someone complained about me, having terrible hours,
Some of it was out of our control.
which I.
So is that the only one, like, that's the only complaint we've had though, hasn't it?
A lot of it stems from, a lot of complaints we have stems from out of our control stuff. Hotels not having pools not being available.
Hotels not having heat.
Wofford didn't have
Wofford.
pools not being open.
Big heater.
Pools not being open and then anything to do with the fire service. That they're not open. And it's so.
You're like no laser tag or haircut.
So,
Bouncing off
Shit,
this.
that laser tag.
as far as the hockey goes, the only play we have, which I do is going to be one that came up with a locker room thing. Which last year, I think the big thing is if we queued with like 3 teams or less somehow, 4 to 5 was I think the killer for us, right? So somehow trying to split that up a little bit better.
Yeah.
We'll just have to figure that out. Check out the walls. Yeah, we already know. But mostly good. And yes, the 150 to 250 was like Crosby or sitting down. Well, that's a little steep for my Jamboree. Just when you got yours for free, you also get a lot of stuff away. Yeah.
People will still come and put it back.
Seriously.
They will.
Good. So, probably 250 on that.
Okay.
Concessions.
Nothing really, got the popcorn machine order and it should be here tomorrow. It's always here by I was kind of sweating, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna popcorn machine.
I did reach out to Kathy on a 3-on-3 tournament on the 26th to see if we could have concessions, and she said absolutely. So she wants to do that. She also said to let her know about any camps that would possibly need concessions for.
We got some.
I know Mario and she just said, well, when she
Mario-
said to let her know and she would try.
When Mario did-
We should do like a partial thing. Like
I would open it for that, high train hockey one.
So
Bet you a lot of parents will say.
when Mario was here, I opened concessions and like parents would just jump in and help me. Like it wasn't like dips or anything like that. I mean, I've been up here running concessions by myself for practices and everything, and it's not.
Big thing is a lot of people are just looking for a Coke or a candy bar, or something.
But that's what I was saying, it's kind of like a partial.
Yeah, you don't have to be cooking
Anyways, she just wants to know so that she doesn't go and put everything away and clean out everything and then now we're complaining that there isn't.
So this
So we're
opportunity, you could probably have it open for limited hours on the second campus. Honestly.
We can discuss
So
that
then you
later.
have that conversation.
If she
And
wants.
come up with a game plan. We
Yeah.
know our times now and everything.
Fundraising and marketing.
I have nothing. Other than, we will revamp this summer, the tournaments. I would like to see a gold, silver, bronze, sponsorship to where, I was talking to Lori about this today, to where they're like on the Jumbotron, and you can be on it for all 6 events. You know, this is what you're paying for, and then also on our website is gonna be your logo. We're gonna evaluate the program, whether or not that should be a QR code versus an actual printed out program, because that is an expense. And then, also like on our Facebook, so website, Facebook, Jumbotron, whether, and I wanted to see,
I would love to know.
I would.
I think it should be.
That's actually a great idea.
And I would prefer it not to change every single tournament. Oh, these are the 10 new sponsors, because it's a lot of work. So if you just do all 6 events, hey, you're getting this many hours on our Jumbotron, we're gonna thank you every time. You're sponsoring our Winter Classic events.
So
Can we have like a,
this kind of falls into fundraising marketing, not really, but we'll try to squeeze it in. What do we do for our seniors when they graduate?
We buy them, well, in the past, we bought the flowers for them to give to their moms.
And this time they were over budget, so or was that for the memorial? They were
That
over
was-
budget for the memorial, and we covered $500. And we cover their senior night and their programs. They did get some sponsorships.
That's got the Eagles to
Well, I was just
the
thinking,
services there.
and I'd actually seen it on YouTube. It was some team in Minnesota or Boston, as well. But you know, it was just like a plaque, and it just said, you know, thank you for your commitment or whatever to this, or just something.
They do, well, we do a senior,
They get a senior plaque after that.
is it a plaque? No, it's not.
The only time they get a plaque is if they make all-state team from North Dakota.
But the seniors get a thing from us, like a.
Yeah, they get a piece of paper, yeah, you'll sign.
Well, I was just curious. I didn't know if maybe with Lisa, with her ties with everything that we're getting here. Well, I was just saying, I mean, we're getting all these things in bulk that we can, you know, if it's something that we didn't put dates on,
Yeah.
and we could get, you know, buy a bulk of them just to keep, just to give them something.
It's something to look at, I mean, it is for,
I mean, I just look at these kids that literally start here and play all the way through. Like, I think it'd be a nice thing.
Jumbotron, Facebook, silver, bronze.
I do
But yes, I can
have a question for you on your favorite thing out of cash reports. So I know you mentioned that a couple that are over the lines. In the off season, with us having a few that are coming in still, do we have to relook at taking everyone?
That was my question to him, and I haven't received any feedback from him.
Be able to fit it to your spots, right?
Yes.
Based on where
I don't know how it got on.
who's it?
Well, there's West Western's over the blue line, and then down in this corner, somebody's over there.
Edward Jones is over top of the.
And some of them are kind of falling apart, like Tiger's trying to half, coming to half.
That was probably for me, Zan, and another guy.
Well, my question is, if they're off where they're supposed to be, because you mentioned somebody wants a gold spot, but half the doors in that gold spot. So they have to cut it, and then it's open and shut in the penalty box doors. Is that how those go on? So my question to you is, in the offseason, do we have to take every freaking one off?
That was my question.
Or except for Hanson and McKenzie out for us, Hanson, is that when we can already discuss staying just because Dave pays for the company? Is that why I did that?
No,
Well, before it was for that, but now it's again, so.
with the same
Making
size.
Yeah.
Yes, and then
Well, so that's the question.
I think it's something, it's easier when the
Ice stuff.
ice is off and it's warm in there, you can take it and just pull the whole thing.
Can you really?
I mean, the
Can you
blue,
go back up?
blue line didn't really throw me off. It was the one over here with the red line was that threw me off. But
So, and I'm wondering too, how big that is that?
Yeah, it all needs to be re-looked at, especially like 3C is way smaller, the on-ice ones all need to be the same size. So like, part of what I can do is I can manipulate a logo to, be longer than tall. So then it's gonna fit these spaces better. Whereas before, I don't think anyone was really doing that, and that's why it ended up compressed and smaller. And we should probably have written down just the sizes for reference. I don't know if it goes in our handbook or what, of like the dashboard actual sizes, or maybe it goes on that,
I think it should go on your sheet.
go on the sheet, so they know the actual dimensions that they're paying for. And then there's some consistency in the next person that
I'd just
doesn't.
be curious to know how much gas we would be to do that. So if it's there, partly on that end, free advertising, if they don't want to fly, I'm just curious if they know those stuff. Maybe some they don't have to tear it out, like, start from the middle and your way out. I don't know, I'm just curious, how the uniform and nice and looking, right? So that's.
I agree.
Okay.
Facilities, Beth?
Okay, so Sarah with the Rough Rider Center talked to me, they want us to approve for the bathrooms. They want the board to approve that. The reason why they want that approved is when the county commissioners made the motion to pay for that bill, they wanted it, the hockey club, to approve that's what we want before they will give the money to the Rough Rider Center. So,
You have the plans.
I don't think
Yeah,
honestly, they've already,
I know.
started, I don't know.
They're cut now. I'm curious because they gotta put some piece of glass and some seating in it, right?
So it's actually gonna take up pretty much that row of seating right there. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst spots to sit because you're looking right into that black net and it's painful to look through there. They did cut a hole in the exam room already in the skate sharpening room. Did a look and the pipes are there underneath the sink or underneath the bench in there, so.
And it's about 3 different bathrooms.
When they're taking that out, can they take this around the glass out too while they're at it so you can actually see?
No, I'm gonna do that one day.
It's just that cool.
Just gonna
That's something.
angle grinder, cut it off, pin it, and you can put it back in if you want.
So we need a motion to approve that, so they can move forward with
I'll make a motion.
I'll say.
All in favor, say aye.
that.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Next is, after they must have got this approved, they pay for it, I don't know who's paying for this, but hopefully they got it, where they're gonna cut the door in on the hands and overhead. Well, what was the problem is they didn't have it engineered, so they didn't know if they could structurally. Now they can because now they got it engineered. Approved.
Is there a time frame for that?
It sounds like they're gonna, no, they didn't give me a timer, but it'd be when they're doing the bathrooms at the same time, doing construction, they'd be doing this too. But it'd be probably when our ice is off, because they'll be working on this more than, because they wanted to start this in March and so. Bathrooms. So just letting you guys know that is a go. They're gonna have to figure out the board situation because I told them, I said, I want a gate there then, so we can put push the ice out.
Yeah, so it's the line.
So they know all about that. Next thing is Simcoe is.
Did they want to approve all this, or were you just letting us know? Okay.
They just wanted to let us know. Compressor, Simcoe is filling up and they need to know a shutdown date, a complete shutdown date. So they can, yes, so they can, 15th.
Is that when they're gonna take that out? They're gonna take or shut that out? Okay.
No, so you still leave the compressors up. All you do when we go to take down, we shut the valve so we aren't putting cold into that anymore. Okay. So, but yes, it is. It's the 15th. It's on a Sunday, so I have a feeling they're going to schedule them for like that Monday, the 16th. So they wanted us to, I don't know why, approve, but that was in her agreement, was the 15th.
So with doing that, is that with Brian coming in, if he was able to do something, he's not going to be able to his first year?
June 15th to September, basically, first. It's 2 months.
Sam, has any of the coaches for the whatever the AAA teams, have any of them reached out to you and scheduled advice?
Woody Merle said something to me, but at the same time, like they would have to practice when we had ice. I mean, we're not gonna work around there.
Two of the
But they never-
were in the August one.
Yeah, he never gave me like a date, so he just said that he needs to schedule ice, and I just told him to email me. He's the only one.
I know.
Oh, you know.
It's Friday, Saturday before the weekend that they traveled, so it's one in April, one in May, and then August one, August.
Well, and then I did see something on Facebook that Stones were doing some AAA hockey, and then they were like saying something about ice time.
No, I think that group, the 2013 group, fell through. I think the only one that's skating is the 2010.
Okay, but they never reached out to me for ice time.
2016, 17,
The what?
2016, 17.
Well, I'll get with them and let them know that they need to get with you.
By the way, it's August, so they have to figure something out. But, well, right after that, to your point, he needs to make it by, and I've said that to Brian, knows that if those 2 months are going to be on, especially with the season during crap, he needs to make it by whatever's probably
Yeah, and this one probably will be available, for dry line stuff, shooting and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, if he wants to do something.
Yeah, this one will probably with the overhead door going in, so.
Yeah, he can do those things. I can go ahead and fix that.
Well, I need to keep moving on.
So so it's shutdown date?
June 15th.
June 15th, I'll let them know that that's our last camp. It's in our
Okay.
You never know.
But they just wanted
Bless
to.
you. All right, Spencer's dryland equipment.
So everybody, I sent this out, gave everybody this. Spencer approached me about a month ago about maybe some dry land things, things that he thought we should try to maybe look at getting eventually. So I asked him, I said, well, put a list together what you think, I did. I let him go with it, come up with this. So these are the numbers he come up with. He did talk to me a little bit. He thinks he found an area that we could maybe put some of this stuff, like a squat rack and stuff like that. I said, well, I don't know, I don't disagree. Do I think medicine balls? Yes, that's something that could be stored underneath the cage, things like that. A squat rack, a bar, a bench, stuff like that. That's going to be there. I think that we would have to get that all approved from the Rough Rider Center to know where to put that and stuff.
Yeah, I would also like director input on this.
I don't disagree. I just wanted to
Yeah.
let you guys know that
The other thing I'm looking at
I like
is-
what when
But
Cole.
it needs an even number of dumbbells.
Whenever there's something that we need, like, if I can find out about it, then I can try to figure out funding for it, whether it's grants or asking for a donation and stuff, so.
No,
I think it's a good start, but.
I think it's a good start. I'm glad somebody took the initiative to do this, because I don't disagree. I think our director should have some input on this too. And maybe that's him and Spencer, come on.
Come together.
Yeah. And bring something to the
It
table.
goes back to the county commissioners, or extended driving area, it's honestly, I don't want to put that stuff anywhere here for the same reason, it's just area in general, and we're already some type of issue area.
And if this is something that we're gonna do, maybe we can figure something out this summer and
Yeah.
for next season.
Yeah.
You can,
So, I just wanted everybody to know it's on your plate and start thinking about it.
okay.
So,
Annual meeting date.
we had it on a Tuesday or Thursday.
It was a Thursday.
Thursday, was it?
I got ran over, Pat, I'll never forget.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Was it the third weekend after spring break, or was it the weekend after that?
Yeah, I believe it was the third
The
week.
week right after the 12th
Yes.
state.
Yes.
That would be, this year would be 20th.
Well, is that spring break?
Spring break
Weekend
is.
on the 26th.
First and Saturday.
Or Tuesday the 26th.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
It's Tuesday the 26th, 2024.
so we have troubles. But what you're lying, you did forget.
Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday, the
Ah.
26th. So do we want to stick with that same?
March 25th.
I'm fine. I mean, is that giving us enough weeks here? Hold on. I don't want to get.
I'm not setting that up. Jamie can do that.
What?
I'm not doing that this year.
That's 5 weeks. That's only 5 weeks.
It has to be 10 days.
Does there have to be enough notice?
Yes, there does. That was.
10 days. It was 10 days.
What he's saying is there have to be, is there we have to have enough weeks of notice to get them out? I know there's a cutoff.
No, there's not. There's not. Look it up. We better double check this stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to.
We're bringing space here and stuff.
Yeah.
Nominations for directors shall be submitted in writing to the corporation at least 10 calendar days prior to the corporation's annual meeting. Okay, I don't see anything to where,
There's a term on that, how many days notice they have. 6 weeks, why?
I mean, we could send this out tomorrow.
Members want this. It's 10 calendar days prior to the. Okay, so what we screwed up on is
It was
we
the-
We didn't put it
We did-
out there.
No, we did, we closed it, but we closed it too late. That was the big
You
issue.
advertise one thing and you file us in another.
Yeah,
Yes.
but technically, we have to keep nominations from before.
Which is why I'm putting open slots. voting.
So we're good there.
Okay, so what, I need to know a time. So Tuesday, March
6 o'clock.
25th, 6 o'clock, when do we want to close the voting? An hour? 7:30?
7:30 voting closes.
6 p.m. starts.
You think? We all good with that?
Okay, I want to make sure this is on the website, so it's open. Sure.
technically, nominations have to be in by the 15th then of March, correct?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
11:59 p.m. Okay, so since we're on the annual meeting date, we need to get with Katie. I think game jerseys need to be turned in before the annual meeting, not given at the annual meeting. I feel like that is a big disaster. People are just throwing jerseys in there. I don't care. I
What
think we
needs
just
to be advocated is this is how it needs to be done. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
Last year at the Bantam level, our last game of the year, coach collected. He brought,
Yeah.
I brought a big bag. I wasn't even the coach, but I just brought a big bag. And then, because your home and away jerseys are right there. Boom.
Yep.
last yeah.
I don't care if they're not washed or not.
Yeah.
We'll take care of them.
Yeah.
If I gotta go and take them down to the laundromat and pay $5, I did last year.
But I'm just saying that I don't think that taking them at the annual meeting is the right thing to do because they just get thrown in there. I just think we just found that they're not gonna be accepted there, so they need to be in by a
Coaches have to collect. We have to put some responsibility on them. I mean, they do a lot for us,
Okay.
but
Jerseys.
Corey is responsible for the sport.
He likes
Brody,
saying
you know, there's enough coaches on each team.
And what about this Kathy, figure out?
Yeah, I'll let her know the
So
time of the date and stuff.
do you want to reach out to the Rough Rider Center and reserve that room for March 20th then?
You wanna get
Both rooms. I would go both rooms, not like we did that one year and only have half a second.
Do what we did last year.
On the voting crossbar. Okay, yeah.
like, and then I'll just verify with the issue. Make sure that you are it's before publisher.
Okay.
I don't know how you can survey
Okay. I figured that out. Yeah, either. Oh, I think I do want to pull
or
up.
they just fill out the applications first, because then I can just take those PDFs and put it right on an election.
Okay.
You just need PDF saved.
Okay. Yeah.
So as they come in, I'll just continue to add it to our election.
So we're going until 8:45 tonight?
Maybe we got to wait.
And TV practice?
Yeah, they were rolling over into Adams.
Adams don't have practice tonight.
Maybe Jared's just gonna shade them.
Just got that because I'm trying to figure out if I gotta get people to get
It's March 25th, Pat?
Yep.
I would say from 5 on, right, because the setup and cabinet in the kitchen. So I'll take care of the voting stuff, printing all that good jazz off, now that I have all the details. I can get all the set up at this point, I'll just need 9 days, basically. I have this data, and then once I have all those, I'll just send them out. Yes. We will need to check in person.
Coaches pay.
I guess I'm gonna start, I'm just gonna give you my opinion on this. I mean, I look back for the last 3 years on coach's pay. And I sent you the one, you know, I guess we've never paid, learn to skate, you know, learn to play, coaches. And same thing with me and you, we've always just had a team coordinator or person that we just paid there. Never paid the goalie coaches in the past either. Is it right or wrong? No, I don't know. But I think this needs to get where it's just a set number all the way across the board that I look at it going, junior gold coach, your pay is $4,200 this year. That's up to you if you want to have 3, 4 coaches. This is what you get paid, and you split that amongst your coaches.
So you want to make a team based, not
Yeah.
coaches based.
So if they only want 1 assistant, you know, they can split the, you know, $4,200 between the 2. Or if the head coach thinks he deserves $2,200, the assistant coach deserves $2,000. Because what it starts happening is you need 4 coaches. You know, 4 coaches are getting paid, 4 coaches are getting paid. You know, just have it up. And what you look at it, I mean, you look at the junior gold this year, 1650, 1250, 1250. Okay, what you figure that out? What that comes to? That comes to 4150. That's why I went 4,200. So it's a set number, but the head coach divvies it up. That way he knows if his coaches are on, you know.
Is there an incentive to, especially at the younger levels, if we did pay them to? I mean, because if we can look at it one of 2 ways. You can say, well, they're just kids and they don't need to get paid, but I mean, essentially that's the foundation of, they're not kids, but I mean, at that level.
Yeah. And so what I'm looking at is like your junior gold. Technically, in the high school, that boss was talking, it was $5,000 for a 10. You know, so 4,200 for your junior gold, 4,200 for your 19 year.
$30,000 for their assistants on top of that.
Yeah.
Do they cut their, how many assistants they can have?
Sure they do.
Oh.
Like I know Sac, I mean, $30,000 for me, 8th grade football assistant coach. And they had 2 assistants. So.
Great coaches get paid more money, Jamie.
I think that's just a school standard that the schools board. So I see what you're saying. I think that reinvents the whole wheel to a degree. And then,
Well, that way it's you know every year, it doesn't matter how many assistant coaches you have. It's a set number that in your finances that you budgeted, this is what it's going to be, you know. That way, 1 year you might only have, you know, if you want to do a budget. 1 year, some teams have 3 assistant coaches and a head coach. Some teams only have 2, you know. So that number fluctuates all the time. This way, this number would be a straight number, total number, balance at the end of the year. You know, so I don't know. This is the numbers I came up with. 4,200 for junior gold, 19 year head coach divvies it up to his coaches. He's responsible.
Did he keep some of it?
Yes, he
Or do
keeps
we
it.
have to set a standard for him to keep? Or do we just say,
well, if you're putting the onus on him, at the end of the day, if you were going to keep all the checks in his name or her name,
Yeah. And then
that's the one downfall. It's just I see happening.
Yeah, I know.
if you did that though, do you think them coaches will ever coach with that coach ever again?
I'm not talking about keeping it all. I'm talking about something you need more than another person.
well, the only other thing you do is you put a set amount for the head coach and then you give him the rest of the budget. However he divvies that out, he can divvy it out.
Yeah,
This
if
is
you
what we're
wanted
paying
to
head
say
coaches, here's the rest of your budget.
2,200 is for the head coach, or I mean, well, right now they got 1,650. So if you said 1,700 for the head coach, the rest of that is divvied out amongst your.
you know, yeah. I think people are, should, in theory, be responsible enough to do, you know.
They don't, that is,
They don't, we step in, right?
we step in and we,
Well, I mean, is there anything we can really do? Because the check's in the coach's name. We gave him the check, the money. Maybe we can always step in and
he won't be a coach next year.
because it's not like a
He
paid
or she.
position. I would take the check back. You know what I mean? Like, cash is there. I'm just let me
No,
see.
no, then you just don't let the coach know.
Yeah.
If you're willing to back coach Peter, get that reputation up for the brand, that you are likely not there.
I don't know, I'm just trying to get it so it's a solid number at the end of the year, every year for the budget.
So then you would give a budget. Okay, so finish off with yours.
So then Bantam B, $3,000, straight across the board, each head coach.
And B and A.
12 you, 2,400. Huh? Fuse, 2,400. U squirts, 1,800.
So
But here, I got another thing here too. So 1,800. Next, 8U, $1,000.
Is that for Memphis?
AU, just AU. 800. LT. I mean, I was just looking at their numbers, what they're getting paid. That's what I was trying to make them work. Okay?
Right now, business years.
Goalies, 500. Draft coordinator stays the same. Scheduler stays the same. Next thing, looking at what do you do? We have a sport coordinator and an 8U coordinator. We approved. Okay, so what I'm just saying, what I'm looking at is if you paid your squirt coordinator $1,000, but he's the head coach of that team, of the squirt team, on a squirt team, you know, I said for them was 1,800. Take 1,000 off of that. If they're already getting paid as a head coach, they don't get their $750 if we had our old system.
For this year's sake, I don't think we had a trade this year.
And
I don't know. You have to ask them.
What I mean is that 8 coordinator to me, at least in my personal eyes, not only are dealing with 8U, but you're dealing with that TSMPP coordinating all the show, like.
Well, wasn't Jake that?
It was like TSMPP and the rest of the 8U coordinating. You're getting paid as far as coaching staff and that too.
But Corey wasn't a sport coordinator.
I felt like Corey, on a sport level. I also feel like we get a director, these positions can adapt.
Well, that was my other question. Like, are we continuing these positions? Like, would that be his recommendation? You know?
Because, I don't know, I guess I gotta see that court. What, ultimately, outside of the 2 practices that are together, what are the
He's in constant communication on the chats. I mean, with the whole groups, you know?
I think there were some issues he had with them as far as other teams where they're playing.
And I did tell Corey to come in and explain because we've never had a start coordinator before.
tell you exactly what all he does, you know what I mean? If this is a position that we're evaluating and we're evaluating pay on, he should come in and tell us what he did.
And I agree with that.
And there might not be a squirt coordinator next year in an AU. I'm just looking at this for a standard number for next year.
So you said what, this work coordinator?
1,000 and 800 for the AU.
Which I would agree with. I don't know that anybody did any instead of coordinator because LTSLP, that's just one group. It's not a hodgepodge with 3 different teams navigating 3 different travel things, parent issues is one group. AU Red Black for the most part has been, you and I always get a chance on one group. And I don't think Preston had much to do in NBA or vice versa. I mean, yeah, they chatted and came with everybody, in my office and got a signature. That's where I think we get to that. I would say that's a good number for future.
I don't think you can change it this year. But what I'm looking at, when it was all said and done, if you went with all these numbers that I came up with, is actually a little bit more than the 32,100 that you have for a number, you know?
Who printed this out? Okay.
Because I don't have the 1,800 into my number would be 31,750.
On here right now, it's 29,000.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's nice to I don't think yet per individual.
yeah. But I think it would make it easier on a budget that this is a set number for each team. That doesn't matter if you got 3 assistants or 2 assistants or 4 assistants.
Yeah, I mean, my question becomes, do people then start to only give themselves 1 assistant on purpose because of this?
Well, historically, how many people have given their paychecks back?
Not very many.
Not very many.
It's a lot, here's my point, it's a lot of work. And when you do this, now they're like, oh, well, it's $42.50 to be a junior gold. You gotta need Andrew and Spencer now at this point, or do I split it 50/50 with one person?
I don't think at that level you can possibly get away with like splitting it, you know what I mean? Like, because you're gonna need coverage at these games. Like, if these people truly wanna take on the $4,200 themselves, they're gonna have to be at every game. You're gonna have one person.
Same Spencer.
I know, but you have to have 2, right? 2
Yeah, that's my
people.
point. No,
Or I mean, 2 coaches essentially. You can't. You can.
high school.
So what you're saying is Douglas would only want himself.
What I'm saying is, do I need 2 assistants or 1?
It's up to them.
Because I now have a lump sum money that I'm giving out. Is it gonna hinder people from getting more coaches on the ice? Because it's gonna be, that means if I have 4 people, my $3,000 goes from $700 per person to $500 per person for the same amount of work.
So are we paying coaches more than once then?
That was why it was broke down that way. I don't know why. Last year, when I was on here last year, it was 1 check the last 2 years.
I'm just saying there's one coach that's paid twice and for like different levels, and there's another coach that's paid 3 times on here. At different
Yeah, I think
levels.
the coaching model is
I don't think we've done that in the past.
of our situation to different people, and they care about their money, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna coach their team because I need two people, myself and one person. So if I get more, it's gonna limit the level payouts. We only get this amount of money worth. Whereas like sports, I can tell you right now, from experience, so you, the package you're able to do, you need more coaches to wrangle in all the kids, and all three teams on the and how many coaches show up regularly at certain of those levels when it's combined practice.
Well, that's where I was trying to get, where that falls back on your head coach of giving him the
Right.
money on instead.
And that part, yeah, no, I think that's for adults. I don't want to hinder people potentially from limiting your coaching staff based on the money they put in. If that makes sense.
Or are you going, or that's the cap that we're gonna pay?
If they have less coaches, they get less money.
Let's just use junior gold, it's 4,200, let's just say. That's the cap we're paying to have, and you have it broke down, as head coach is making this much, assistant,
What do we have to cap each of three total coaches that is not match here in stock here?
Four.
Cap at 4. What's the number we can be looking at?
But every one of these head coaches, we always allow them to pick their assistants. So, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't go and pay their assistants.
I'm not worried about them paying them or not. That's not what I'm saying.
No, what you're saying is now Doug might just say, you know what, I just want Andrew. I don't need Spence. Well, guess what, Spence? We have an opening for you then, because I could put you in the 19U program instead,
Certainly. I'm just, and that's an example of just trying to make it sound, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
But is the cap also 3 coaches or 4? Let's go start. 4. If you add non-tech coach here, if you add another 1250 here, that actually goes up to,
yes.
should that be the cap then? 4 per team? Because you have 8U and there's 5 here. Of this LDB, there's 5. Goldies, there's 4.
Then you go to Sport International, and it's 3 is all they allow on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that
Check
we
that.
I gotta pick up my daughter at 8 o'clock.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know this. It'd be easier on the budget. We'll just have a set number every year. We know that is the price. And in the budget, it's going to cost us $30,000 for coaches. It doesn't fluctuate then every
Yeah, I
year.
could just set a number and not to exceed. The coaches pay not to exceed that much money.
Which I'm fine. I just think you can hire one.
Got a really good coach, well then you cut back on it.
Do you want to touch on mileage real quick, Pat?
Sure.
So we gotta approve the OJ.
Okay, but I'm still looking at this bench only thing that I don't like, because I think there's a huge fight in order to be the only head coach from 2 teams, right? Because he felt like, I don't know, there should be an executive session to discuss that. So, I have a problem with that, the reason why we're stretched so thin, and yet we're not gonna pay for bench only, these people that are coming in and assisting us. Because we're in a situation where no one else qualified for that position. It just, I don't like.
Well, it might be hard on tracking, but is there a way we can break down like games and practices and you make, kind of like if you referee or whatever, you make X amount
Like, you should do it.
I like
That's-
myself up.
I know, I'm not saying that you're being biased towards your, like, yourself, I'm saying that I don't feel comfortable with that, I feel like they should get paid. Cause then we're picking and choosing and giving free dibs, that's money, so we might as well just give them money instead of free dibs.
Well, they get, the free dibs is automatic, based on our policy.
Yeah.
Same thing with the 10 hours, that's why it's there.
But it's still money, even if it's in our policy.
I'm just notating what they, these people based on their position have to be, they're supposed to have myself. They were given free dibs from being ahead, they were needed to have 10 hours in the labor system.
Alright.
I guess you can go position by position that way. I was trying to make that equal fair across the board because I'm looking, there are a couple coaches at the square who are literally just there opening the door, not on practice at all. Not going out of the way to go to 13 different teams' benches. So I just flat figured as mentioned. I guess that was my flip that, now you gotta pay those on the sewer, those chairs. Door opener at times, the second door.
So we can approve this for getting approval from the head coaches, who receives payment. Because that's how it's always been in the past anyways, right? That's what they said in the past that if head coach felt like their assistant coaches didn't deserve pay,
That was for dibs. It was like the 10 hours of dibs or whatever.
We did that last year.
Yeah.
We let our head coaches decide if they were there every day or not.
I thought that was just for the whole dibs situation.
Squirt level. Maybe it was just a squirt level.
It's not,
Whatever, that's nothing.
yeah, you brought this sheet in last year and we basically said, okay.
Alright, well,
Okay. I hate to leave early, but my daughter's probably waiting outside for dance.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like thrown off with coaches getting paid multiple times on multiple levels. Like I'm looking back at what we paid the assistant coach who was assistant coach for other teams and he only got paid one time at the highest level. So that's where I'm,
Chris,
yes.
one being that was assistant there and a tenuous assistant. But that was because that's what he was. So he got paid twice.
Not last year, we didn't. I'm literally looking at this right
Chris
here.
Lundeen, $500. Chris Lundeen, $1,240.
Okay, yes, I didn't go down for it. Okay.
Everybody that was on multiple lives got paid.
Okay.
There, we just didn't have near the issue we are having this year.
So, I got a
Jared
text.
Schaff, 820. Jared Schaff, 500.
I'm looking at it now.
There's just some people tuned in listening and it says, don't pay coaches. Use the money to help pay people or like their fees to play hockey, the people that need it. Or to even use the money to award parents that go above and beyond within the club.
What now?
This is an open season, John. This is an open season.
Okay.
So honestly, I think this needs to be reworked the whole thing for next year, but honestly, I think this is here. The only thing that I would like to see more than anything on here to get paid is because there was a squirt coordinator position this year that needs to be added to this list.
What about, do you think a dip coordinator needs to come? Free dips.
That'll be
Next year or this year?
Ref coordinator and scheduler is paid.
we should have a number in that for the budget.
Well, the other thing too is people that are denying their checks, is what I talked about, that we possibly put it in the scholarship.
I agree.
So then we know where it's going. But then it's budgeted every single time.
It's in the budget, but they want to refuse it, we can just move that over to.
Okay, I'll add Casey Brennan there, yes. And Blackhawk, next year's. And that's where we're going to go there. And send it back out and just
We can vote by email.
by email.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Moving on to mileage, the only thing I'd like to see on our website for all these coaches that are non-parent coaches, that there's this is what we pay to these towns per mileage, you know, how many miles it is. So that's what this sheet is. So like from Washington City to Sydney, you can Google it, from Washington City to Sydney is 52 miles. Okay, we're paying 100, well actually it'd be 106 miles at 65 cents a mile.
But we also need to add on there, furthest town away.
Furthest town away. So if you're traveling that weekend and you go Minot, Devil's Lake, and then Grand Forks, we're paying you from Washington City to Devil's Lake.
Walk to your Grand Forks.
Washington City to Grand Forks.
Yes.
Yeah, and back.
And this mileage, not your
Yes.
road out town.
Yes. That's why I put in here, I mean, I did put in Regina, Esteban, Brandon, Roseau, Weyburn, Miles City, you know. The only one I did not put in here, and I thought of it afterwards, just possibly could be Washington.
Do we need a motion on this or?
We get motion that this is what it is, and just add it to resources page.
And this is what we're gonna follow, and this is what we're gonna use with that one inquiry,
Yes,
this last email.
yes.
So I'll make a motion that these are the miles we're using to pay for traffic.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.